Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw for the Adventure and Expedition Travel Show, Virtual RoadShows, and also Insider Travel Report. And welcome to the show. We're going to have a great panel here of both adventure tour operators and expedition cruise lines. And then all of these folks will be at booths at the trade show floor as well. So we're going to get right to it to talk about the state of adventure and expedition travel right now. And let's go. And first, I'm going to introduce our panelists, and they'll raise their hands as I mention them. First of all, from Quark Expeditions, we have Cara Matthew, who's the regional sales manager. And so say hello, Cara. How are you?
And hello, I'm great. Thanks for having me. This is a great conversation we'll have today.
I hope so. It will be. I know it will be. And then from Atlas Ocean Voyages, Anthony Iozzia. Have I said that right?
Close enough. Iozzia.
Okay.
You're not the first to mispronounce it.
Oh, you look at my name. No, everybody mispronounces that. But regional sales director for Atlas. Welcome. And from Hurtigruten, Becky Helms, who has done this before with us, who's the sales director East. Welcome, Becky.
Thanks, James. Nice to be with you again.
And for Exodus Travels, Kent Phillips, who's the business development manager there. Welcome, Kent. How are you?
Great. Thanks for having me. Good to see everyone.
Last but not least, a little different company. We'll talk about that. Tour Radar, who's Kimberly Stirdivant Wason. And should I use both of those names or not?
You could just call me Kimberly, James. It's nice to be here.
That's what you'll be called, Kimberly, from now on. So there you go. So we're going to get right.
Like Madonna.
We're going to talk about this incredible category because it really is exploding, both for expedition cruise lines, for adventure tours, and one of the reasons why we're having this show, obviously. And it's something for all of you out there, all of our 110,000 travel advisors, although I think we invited the ones that really wanted this, so it's less than that. We really are focused on the travel advisors that are interested in this topic and want to sell it. So we're going to find out about all these companies and more, and let's get right to it. First of all, I'm going to ask each of you to briefly describe your company and what it offers. Let's start with let's start with you, Kimberly, because you have you're the company that's a little different here.
Well, we're a little different, but we work with actually a lot of the operators who are here on this call today. So Tour Radar is the world's leading adventure booking platform exclusively for multi-day organized adventures. And we first made it easy for travelers to really discover and book the broadest selection of adventures online in one place. And now what we've done is we've built the most powerful distribution network by providing advisors, agencies, and other partners with really a turnkey distribution solution through our adventure booking platform. So agencies and advisors, they can sign up for free, easily book more than any of our 50,000 organized adventures from one easy to use partner portal or through our API. We offer a really simple way to search, compare, and book multi-day adventures from more than our 2,500 tour operator partners. Like I said, some of whom are on this panel today, with offerings in more than 160 countries. And with agent functionalities designed just for advisors, the opportunity to earn a competitive commission, a partner portal dashboard where advisors can really easily manage all of their bookings. We really try to understand advisors and their needs, which is why we like to say we've designed a platform that's really easy to use, because we want to help advisors send their clients on life-enriching adventures like expedition cruises.
Absolutely, and it's a good central location to find out about all of those and more. Let's go to you, Kent. Tell us a little bit about Exodus Travels.
Absolutely. Thank you. So again, I'm Kent Phillips, the business development manager, one of them in North America. Exodus actually has been around since 1974 as a tour operator, global tour operator. So we're soon going to be coming up on 50 years in operation. We are one of the world's leading specialists in active small group holidays. So everything from leisurely walking, so it could be walking and wine, a lot of foodie type trips in very regional locations across Europe and other parts of the world, to high summit trekking, Kilimanjaro, Inca Trail, Everest Base Camp, what have you. And then what I love, which are cycling journeys. But that's not all we do. We also do cultural, we have family trips as well, and some specialty trips, which we'll talk about when some of the questions come up. But again, it's all about experiential travel, small groups, sustainable focused, a lot of highlight on the environmental impact and how we can improve on that moving forward. So with Exodus, 500 plus itineraries, a little bit of something for everybody, all different accessible trips around the world and to about 109 different countries globally. So there's going to be something for everyone there.
Absolutely. You go everywhere, really. Now let's talk, next time, let me go to Anthony. Atlas Ocean Voyages, who I was lucky enough to be on one of the first cruises ever on Atlas a couple of years back with the owners. So I do know the ship, but I've never actually been on one of your expeditions yet. I just did a kind of owner's cruise. So I know the ship, but not what you offer as much. But tell us a little bit about Atlas Ocean Voyages.
Yeah, and I'm glad you did get the opportunity to sail with us. I saw some of your videos. I saw some stuff on YouTube as well. Look, I get a great time. You were in Europe, correct? Greece. And
we were going from your owner's hometown. So we were there in Portugal. And then we went all the way to Athens. So it was a long cruise, about 10-day cruise. And then I was able to, interview Mario Ferrara and a whole bunch of other folks, the investors in your company, and it was quite a nice cruise. So it wasn't a real cruise. It was just the owner taking all of his buddies. In fact, if I recall, there was a Portuguese singing star on board that I didn't know, but he was very good.
Oh, wow. Great.
Anyway, but tell us a little bit about the company now today.
Sure. Well, as you mentioned, you sat with us, I guess it was like a year and a half ago, 2 August ago. So we're relatively new cruise line. We are considered yacht style expedition and yacht style cruising. And what I mean by yacht style is we're very small. We're very intimate. We never take more than 196 guests on board. We have incredible cuisine. Our crew is top notch. I've never sailed on a vessel where the crew was just so incredible and enjoy taking care of you. We have a guest to crew ratio of 1 to 1.3 to 1.4. So we do have a substantial amount of crew to take care of all the needs of our guests. We are all inclusive, so we include not only all your meals and specialty dining, we include 24-hour room service, all your adult beverages are included, a Wi-Fi package is included, gratuities as well. So we cater to a great group of clients that are looking for something different, and that's what makes Atlas special. Fantastic.
And let me move to you, Cara Matthew. If you could unmute, there you go.
Yeah, thanks, James. So I'm Cara Matthew with Quark Expeditions, and Quark Expeditions has actually been in business for over 3 decades, delivering trips to the polar region. So we specialize in the Arctic and Antarctica. We don't go anywhere else in the world. We're polar specialists. And in these regions, we're on small little expedition ships, similar to what Anthony was saying, all under 200 passengers. So we have ships in our fleet that are only 128 passengers, all the way up to 199. And really, the ship acts as a home base so that we can get off the ship and explore in these regions further and farther. So the whole point of being on the ship is to get off the ship. Mm-hmm. So people that are traditional cruisers love coming with Quark Expeditions and traveling to the polar regions, but also people might have never been on a ship before, but they simply want to explore these really remote parts of the earth, going hiking and zodiac cruising. And as Kent mentioned, it can be as active or as leisure as a trip they want it to be. There is a little something for everyone on a Quark Expeditions voyage.
No, absolutely. And you are the polar specialist. And let's move to another one who does a lot of the poles, Hurtigruten, Becky Helms. Let's talk a little bit about what Hurtigruten is. I've been lucky to be on a couple of your ships, but so far not down in Antarctica yet. But I've been to other places. So talk a little bit about your line.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks. Yes, so I'm Becky Helms. I'm the sales director for the East for Hurtigruten, and we are the company that is hard to pronounce, but our voyages are impossible to forget. So I'll say that one more time, very slowly. Hurtigruten. Hurtigruten. So everybody can practice that at home and be able to pronounce that like a Norwegian expert. But we have been in business. We're actually celebrating our 130th year in business this year. So we're very excited about that. We are the world leader in sustainable expedition travel. So we're really focused on sustainability. We do travel to over 30 countries with 150 different expeditions. So we've got a lot of those polar regions, like you mentioned, James, but we're also traveling to other places like Africa, Galapagos, many other destinations that can be reached and experienced through expedition travel. So we're all about science, education, and sustainability, and taking your clients to all these remote destinations in the world, but in a comfortable manner on one of our ships that can be your base camp at sea to go and explore and see this wonderful world we have.
Absolutely. And I know you have sort of a separate unit that does only Norwegian coastal voyages, which is your routes. And so there's expeditions, and then there's the coastal side, which is another great cruise. Let's get the second question here. Kent, I'll start with you. Why do you think adventure tours, expedition cruises, this whole category has grown so popular as we emerge from the pandemic? It seems like it's really kind of exploded. It's always been there.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're definitely seeing the growing trend with all of the companies that are here today, and a lot of it, I think, for us, we say it's the conscious traveler. It's people that care about how they're traveling, and that's why we use the word sustainable, environmentally focused. They care about the regions they visit. They care about the people that are taking care of them on these expeditions and adventure tours, and they want to get into the heart of the region. They want to be a participant rather than what we say as an observer, which traditionally, in the old days, that was more how travel was. It was observing. Now we are a participant. We want to engage. We want to learn, and we want to come home with a valued experience. And so I believe that is the big change, and that's what people want. Whether it be a small ship expedition or an active holiday, you're going to get so much more out of that trip, and it's going to be a lot more memorable once you come home.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. From the ones that I've done, very memorable expedition trips this time around. Anthony, same question.
All right, I'm not going to repeat what Ken said, because Kent was 100% spot on why people are gravitating towards expedition cruises. But what really hit home to me was this past Christmas. We had 30 people at my house for Christmas Eve, like we always do, a crazy Italian-American Christmas Eve. And my one cousin I was chatting with him, and he's 58 years old, and he said his wife and himself were going to go to Antarctica on their 60th birthday. That was going to be their gift to each other.
Right.
But this pandemic got them thinking differently. They're like, why put it off 2 years, 3 years down the road? We can't take life for granted. We got to seize the moment. Don't wait till we're retired or in a special occasion. Travel now. Why wait? It's a perfect time to travel. Safety precautions have never been higher. There's lots of room on the ships to explore on your own, especially when you're going small ship cruising. You're not around thousands and thousands of people and have that fear of maybe, God forbid, germs being around. So when you're sailing with 100, 150 people, it's different. But I think the pandemic is getting people, doing it now and not waiting until later.
I would agree, and that's probably one of the things that we're going to do these things on my bucket list. Let's get it over. Let's get it done. Let's start it, and then maybe if they like it, they'll come back, right?
No doubt.
Absolutely. Now, Cara, same question, a little bit of the same question, but are you seeing a lot of why now? Are you seeing a lot of first timers as well coming on board? Because one of the phenomena I had found out that you get on an expedition cruise these days, and you suddenly realize some of these people have never actually cruised before. And they came out because this wasn't a cruise. This was an expedition. So is that something you're finding out?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Anthony said it well too. I think during, a lot of people used to say, oh, I'll wait until I retire to go and visit Greenland or Antarctica or some of these big bucket list items. But also people have saved a lot during the pandemic. I mean, I'm from Toronto, and we were in lockdown for a lot longer than other areas. And a lot of people were able to save because they weren't able to travel a lot. So people have bigger budgets. And now that they're wanting to to go to these ends of the world, they're actually can spend a little bit more money. So traditionally we would see people going and thinking about going to Antarctica, doing entry-level balcony suites. But now people are going into penthouses and terrace suites because they have that extra budget saved up over the past couple of years of not being able to do these big bucket list items. And we're also seeing a lot of different ages. So even though our average age is 55, we're seeing a lot of people that are maybe done their masters and they're in their 20s and they're really wanting to, before they head into their careers, they want to take advantage now to go to an opportunity like Antarctica or Greenland or Svalbard off the coast of Norway. So we're also seeing a younger demographic really jumping on board to come to these really remote places on the planet to experience everything they have to offer.
No, that's absolutely so true. And Becky, any thoughts on this, on why we've seen this popularity grow, or maybe this is, we just think it's grown, but I truly do think, you know, and amazingly in the expedition cruise space, there was a lot of new product that came in over the last few years, which was, you know, during COVID. And, you know, most of my expedition cruising has been done during the COVID era.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I agree with everything that's been said. People are seeking those remote destinations. They're looking, you know, to check off those bucket list items. They're not waiting, but they want those less crowded things. But also to kind of ping off what you were asking about, you know, first-time cruisers, I think we are seeing that because people that have not been traditionally cruising, you know, want to check out something that isn't, you know, a large ship. They want to see what they can see on a small ship. And so we're kind of a baby step into that. And I think once we get them an expedition, they don't want to try anything else. They see what the benefit of being on a small ship can really be to them. So yeah, I agree with everything that's been said. And, you know, we're letting people see these remote destinations of the world, and then why travel any other way?
And Kimberly, I'll let you close it out. I mean, you guys, if I recall, Tour Radar kind of started during COVID, or at some point, maybe you're already around, but we first noticed you during COVID. And what are you seeing? You obviously saw an opportunity where people, you know, wanted to do expedition and adventure travel, and you created a whole website just to make it a lot easier for them to do that.
Well, we've been around for about 10 years, but yes,
Okay.
we launched our travel agent portal during COVID. And I think really what we've seen coming out of the pandemic, like the others have mentioned, is a real desire for these exotic experiences, connecting with nature and kind of doing something that not everybody else has already. And people really want to knock these bucket list items off their list. They're just not waiting. Polar expeditions are really attractive destinations for just those reasons, and because it's never been easier to reach these parts of the world that weren't reachable a century ago, which makes it very exciting and enticing experience. And what we're seeing in regards to bookings on Tour Radar, it's not just the high adventure set traveling to the poles. It's families with children, it's multi-generational groups, retirees, luxury seekers, and everyone in between. We over at Tour Radar, we're kind of saying it's that we're entering the golden age of polar travel. And when we look at bookings, even from 2022 to 2019, the majority of the bookings are coming from the US, Canada, and Europe round out the top three. We're seeing the average order value has almost doubled from 2019 to 2022, as well as the length of stay. And so we're seeing a really big interest in these type of adventures, more so in Antarctica than the Arctic, but it's definitely something that's been a top priority for travelers on Tour Radar as well.
Absolutely. And you kind of led me into my next question, which is, who is this target? Who are the customers? Who are the target customers? So Anthony, I'll go with you. I mean, who are you targeting in terms of age, income, travel preferences, et cetera?
Yeah, sure. Who we're targeting and who we're getting are maybe a little bit off. I mean, we're targeting the 45 to 68 age bracket. We're targeting the more affluent type traveler, someone that's adventuresome, that's been around the world. But we're getting, like someone mentioned earlier, we're getting the younger demographic that we weren't really targeting. We're getting people that are in their 20s and 30s, and we're getting people even like in their 80s, but they're younger at heart and more fit than I ever was at my age. So even though we're targeting like I said, the mid 40s to the late 60s age bracket, we're getting in all different ages joining us. There's someone that wants to see the world now and wants to experience wildlife and nature and and just not be around thousands and thousands of people and have a yacht style experience. And that's who we're getting right now.
Well, absolutely. You do have to be a little careful. I mean, I've been on some and I did a whole day of kayaking and the next day I couldn't move. But that's another story. Sometimes you try to be a little overactive, but I was still game to do it. That's for sure. Cara, same question. I mean, who is your target market for Quark?
Yeah, it's not only that checklister that wants to check off their bucket list going to Antarctica or seeing a polar bear maybe in the Canadian Arctic, but it's also the learner. A lot of learners are coming with Quark Expeditions to the polar regions because we have such a fantastic educational program. We have a phenomenal expedition team where it's one expedition team member to 7 guests. So our expedition team members are actually sitting with guests during lunches and dinners and also giving presentations throughout the voyage, in addition to doing landings and zodiac cruising with the guests. So we have glaciologists, biologists, geologists, marine biologists. We even have a penguinologist that comes with us to Antarctica. Yeah. And I have never been so into birds since I started traveling with Quark Expeditions. So I also have my own pair of binoculars that I use to go hiking with, or go in my own park now and find a new woodpecker in my own backyard. So it's incredible that we're really focused on the learners, those types of travelers, no matter what age, that want to seek a really enriching experience in these regions and getting to know them intimately.
No, absolutely. And I discovered that last year. Believe it or not, I went on 3 different expedition cruises to Antarctica last year. And there's a lot of people say, you're crazy. How are you doing that? I said, well, I'm dating a penguin. The problem is that she wants to live down there. I want to live up here. And when I get back, I can never tell who she is. That's why I need a penguinologist to remind me of what breed she is. So we'll see what happens. But it's fascinating to watch them. It's absolutely, no matter how many times I've been down, and when you talk to the folks, the expedition team leaders who know about that, it's just fascinating to talk to them. I've yet to see the Emperor yet, so I gotta one of these days I'm gonna have to get to that one. But anyway, let's go on to Becky. Is Hurtigruten any different in terms of who you're targeting? I know for you're a Norwegian company, so I gather there's a lot of Europeans on board, but now increasingly a lot of Americans as well.
Absolutely. There's a tremendous focus from Hurtigruten on the Americas market. Hence, we've over more than doubled the size of our sales team to help support all of our great advisors here in the Americas. But traditionally, expedition cruising has been seen as kind of focused on an older demographic, but we are seeing that trend younger. Right. So just like Cara said, and some of the others said, it is trending younger. We're getting some of those young professionals that want to get out and see the world and experience it in a different way, and come along with us in the expedition team and see all of those things. Just like Cara, we have a big focus on the education, and like we like to call it edutainment. We're entertaining the mind a little bit, and a focus on that citizen science. We get a lot of people on board that want to be part of our citizen science program, where they can get out and actually help some of these nonprofits and organizations throughout the world with some of their research, and they can say, hey, I did that. I saw that never before seen whale before, and I got to name him. So it's getting them involved and getting them to really understand the destination that they're going to, and really feeling like they're part of it, and coming back with that appreciation for nature and the world and the environment that we're in. But yes, we're seeing a younger demographic for sure.
Yeah, that's good. That's good too, because I used to think that it was, well, cruising in general was an older demo, and but to actually really enjoy and experience this to the fullest, you got to be a little active. It's very difficult for inactive people to do it. They can do it. But if you want to go to that hike to the top of the mountain or the hill overlooking the bay through the ice, it can be a little bit, as my own experience.
But you can definitely sit on board with a drink and watch the scenery.
You can do that too. I would agree with you there. But if you want to go paddle boarding, some cases people have that. Kayaking, you want to go on the hikes, it takes a little bit more effort. But yeah, I do know lots of people that go and they just enjoy. They'll get out on the island. They'll take a look around. There are penguins right there usually, and then they'll go back, and that's it. That's all they need. Let me go to you, Kent, in terms of the demo that you guys appeal to. Who are your target customers?
Yeah, and I think I can agree, everyone. I think we're all on the same page here. Typically, we're in that kind of 35 to 65 range, working professionals and retirees. And when I started with Exodus, over 6 years ago, I even was under the misconception that a lot of active travelers were going to be in the younger set. But I've been absolutely floored, impressed, motivated by some of the older demographic that go on our, and I've done a number of them, cycling, walking, trekking holidays, the people in their 50s, 60s, 70s on up. It's incredibly inspiring. Because what we're seeing, and we saw it even over the last couple of years of COVID, there's more time for those pursuits. A lot more people took up biking, walking. You're seeing groups and communities of all different ages. But I find too that there's a certain set that also has a budget to do a lot of these trips, and especially some of the premium trips that we do. So in saying that, yes, it definitely is that core. Our average age kind of hovers in the early to mid 50s, but the younger generation, the 30, 40 something working professionals that don't want to go on a trip with 40, 50 people, or a party trip, or sit around and sit on the beach and drink all day. They're wanting to do something more inspirational, more active. And again, that can include walking, trekking, and cycling. So definitely it is growing that demographic across the board for sure.
No, it isn't a matter of age. It's a matter of ability and interest, and also, a psychographic to get out there. I know plenty, this happened on river cruising, where all of a sudden they realized everybody wants to go on the bike. They all want to cycle. Everybody wants
and
to
you can use an e-bike, right?
Electric. Now you can use an e-bike. I have done that.
Exactly.
It is great. That's an option, absolutely. And we started this kind of all off with you, Kimberly, where you're talking about some of the demos. But do you kind of does everything that the folks have said already kind of jive from what you guys are seeing in terms of the booking trends?
It really does, in regards to specifically looking at expedition cruises, at least the bookings on Tour Radar. I mean, if we put our age demos into third buckets, we see about 33% in the 18 to 39. We see about 33% in the 40 to 59. And then we see about 33% in the 60 and up. So we've got a really good even split of who is booking. And I think that just reiterates the points that I made up above, is that we're not just seeing retirees wanting to cross things off the bucket list. It's families who want to go and explore something new. It's the education people who have just done their master's and they want to learn. And the expedition cruises provide a great opportunity for just that.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for that. And now I'm going to do a little something different here. We're going to drill down a little bit to each of your companies and kind of find some exactly things. You don't have to tell me all of what you offer, but maybe if you could talk about some of the itineraries that you're offering this year and even next year that are really special, that are different. We're going to start with the expedition cruise lines. And so, Anthony, if you could tell us, what is Atlas offering for 2023 and into 2024 that you think is really unusual, different?
Okay. Right now we have only 2 ships and we have 3 on order. They're both in Antarctica. We're doing 25 sailings this current Antarctica season, ranging from 8 to 12 days. And then next season, we're going to have 26 departures ranging from 9 to 14 days. So our specialties are the polar region. So when we're not in Antarctica, we try to spend as much time as we can up in the northern polar region, maybe looking for polar bears and going to Svalbard and Iceland and Greenland and Norway. And then, but in between those 2 areas, we do spend a decent amount of time in Europe. We're going to the Canary Islands, hitting the Italian and French Riviera, Spanish Riviera, Portugal. We have some incredible programs going to Greece. We go to the British Isles. But the great thing about being on a small ship and carrying less than 200 guests is we get to go to some of these smaller villages and hidden harbors and unique ports where the big ships can't go to. We try to avoid at all costs to go to these ports where you're going to see these mega ships that are holding 2,000, 3,000, 60, 900 people. So because of the big yacht style, every destination we go to is unique because of just the size of the vessel.
No, and I agree, having been on it, and they're all of your ships are going to be pretty much the same, very, very boutique, very, very individual, and roughly 200 passengers, right? So it's a great size. Of course, and even I'll move to Cara what is Quark offering right now? You also are a polar specialist, right?
Well, James, I couldn't stop smiling when you said you hadn't seen the emperor penguin yet, even though you'd been to Antarctica 3 times, because our exciting new 14-day itinerary that we have 2 departures of in November of 2023 is our Emperor Penguin Quest, an expedition to Snow Hill to see over 8,000 pairs of emperor penguins and their chicks. And so we have 2 departures in November. And this is all on our game-changing new ship, the Ultramarine, with 2 helicopters. So it's a really great way to fly guests far away from the rookery. So we are walking into the rookery. So we aren't disturbing, of course, any of the wildlife, because we don't disturb any of the wildlife with the helicopters. It's not the purpose of the helicopters. So it's a really exciting opportunity, because back in 2004, we actually made polar history by conducting the first ever ground visit to the Snow Hill Emperor Penguin Rookery. So I'm so excited that we have that itinerary this year. But then we also have a Greenland adventure program for 9 days that's in and out of Reykjavik. So we fly over to Nursasawak, Greenland, the southern portion of Greenland, to experience gorgeous fjords. So if people aren't active, which if they are, they'll love the hiking aspect, landing on the Greenland ice sheet, because that is also included in the program for Greenland Adventure. But also cruisers cruising in some of the deepest fjords in the world are in Greenland, just stunning. As well, the Greenland Adventure program for 9 days. It's in July. We have 2 trips this summer, but they also have great cultural exchange programs as well. So people that are really looking forward to those immersive experience with the culture in a region, the Greenland Adventure program is something that I am thrilled that we have. It's a brand new itinerary for Quark Expeditions.
Well, certainly the Emperors would be great. Maybe I have to get a new date in the Emperor community, because that I've always wanted to see an Emperor, but they're very rare. Almost everyone here has trips that offer the other kinds of breeds, but Emperors only in certain places, as you mentioned. So that's cool. Hurtigruten, Becky, what are the itineraries you're offering this year and into next that are kind of special?
Yeah, absolutely. So like I mentioned earlier, we're celebrating our 130th anniversary this year. So we are bringing back what we're calling our 2 of our iconic voyages. So we are known for the coast of Norway. We are Norwegian flag, so we can go into some of those fjords that other companies are not allowed to go into, because we have, that flag of Norway. So we have one voyage that's called the North Cape Express. So that's going to allow people, we're actually going to start in Oslo, which we haven't done before, get to visit the North Cape. So that's a fantastic voyage. It's going to kind of merge a little bit of those coastal experience that we're known for with some of our expeditions. So we're going to be in the port a lot longer. There's going to be some different experiences on board. So it's going to be kind of a great mix, or kind of a hybrid of the 2 models that we have. Then we're also going to have the Svalbard Express. So that one, we're going to get to spend some time up in Svalbard and, get to have an extension there and get to see some of the amazing things that are around the Svalbard area. But in addition, we're continuing to do Antarctica. We've been doing Antarctica for over 20 years, so we're going to continue that time. But we're also focused on the Galapagos this year. We've got, a lot of warm weather. People don't think about expedition to some warm weather destinations. So Galapagos is definitely a continuing focus for us, as well as Alaska, Greenland. The Northwest Passage is a great way to see some different areas of the world. And then, of course, if you've got a really adventurous group that can be gone for about 3 months, we have our pole-to-pole cruises, our voyages that they can go from the Arctic all the way to the Antarctic. And I don't know, a better way to spend 3 months.
No, absolutely. And you can get a really long cruise if you want. It's great. If you want a long, it's not quite a world cruise, but it's a world expedition cruise, or what passes for one, that's for sure. Kent, talk a little, you go everywhere. So, I mean, talk a little bit about some of the highlights for 2023 and 24 about some of your tours.
Absolutely. So, well, I'm excited. I got back recently from hosting our first ever self-guided agent fam, so that was exciting. And I took a group to Burgundy in France and did a walking and wine holiday. So I made sure
that's expedition at its finest.
they weren't allowed to drink wine until they walked a certain amount of miles. So I made sure it didn't happen at all. but it's exciting because we're seeing the growth. The self-guided is quite a new travel trend in the market. And, for me to have a first-hand opportunity to see how self-guided works, you're traditionally, you're not with a group. It's, it's great for couples, families, multi-generational families, center-based, point-to-point. Everything's arranged. So your accommodation, your transport of luggage, detailed trip notes, GPS, you have a host there that's there, for certain transfers if you have them, if you need any assistance, but you go at your own leisure, your own pace. And it's really nice. We got to one village. Some of the group didn't want to do the walk the next day, which was a loop close to the village. They decided they wanted to go shopping, have a nice lunch, just have an easy afternoon. And you have that flexibility within self-guided, why we're seeing the trend towards these trips, as well as people coming out of, the last few years, they want to be maybe with their own little intimate group or bubble, if you will. They're not maybe comfortable traveling on a small group, if you will. So that's one of the growing trends we're seeing. We're really excited about. The other one was the launch of our new premium holidays this year. So these are specialist led trips. Basically, we take some world-renowned adventurers, writers, TV hosts, personalities, and they host the trip. So a couple of them I'm really excited about. Paul Goldstein, he's a world-renowned wildlife photographer. He does incredible photography, a lot of them in Africa with the leopards and amazing big five there. And he's taking a Kenya photography safari, which will be amazing. And he's done a lot of the polar trips as well. And then you have George Karunas, who's a good friend of Exodus, and he, you might know him from Angry Planet. He's a storm chaser, guru, very interesting adventurer, and he's going to be doing a highlights of Bolivia trip. So we take, our clients on these trips. They get to go with these, world-renowned specialists from across the board, and we're really excited about these holidays moving forward in 2023 and 2024. And you can find them all at Exodus Travels.
Amazing trips. It sounds like you got a great collection there, and you always seem to be doing innovative stuff. Kimberly, I know you don't have products per se, but talk a little bit about the programs that you offer to expedition cruise lines and adventure tour operators, and how they can take advantage of them, maybe.
Yeah, well, we offer, we've taken the world's largest selection of multi-day organized tours and adventures and made them easily bookable via one connection on Tour Radar, either through our adventure booking platform or through our API. And with either of our solutions, so the API or the travel agent portal, advisors will experience many benefits, such as easily communicating with any of our tour operator partners from one platform. They can have access to our inventory of more than 50,000 tours, including our amazing expedition tours, our expedition cruises. They will have the ability to use existing contracts with operators while adding new operator partners, and more. And so for any advisors who are interested in signing up and learning more, I encourage them to visit tourradar.com/agents. We do recommend, though, checking with your host agency if you're part of one to see if they have a host account, so that you can make sure to join their account.
Absolutely. Good advice. Let's turn to some of the training and education programs you all have for travel advisors to help them better sell adventure travel and expedition cruising. Let's start with you, Becky. What does Hurtigruten have to help travel advisors sell more of your company's products?
Absolutely. So we do have a certified travel advisor course on our agent portal that can be found at agentportal.hurtigruten.com. So those courses are there. We are currently getting some new content and curating some new videos and assets that we can put on there, but there is a great course there to kind of introduce people to Hurtigruten. And then, of course, we have our team of BDMs and sales directors across the Americas that are here to help. We can do webinars, we can do trainings. I know our team will hop on with an advisor if they need help closing a sale. These are your product experts, and we want to be there to help you close that sale. So if there's something that we can do, please reach out to us. And those names of your local BDM can be found on our agent portal as well. So you can reach out to them and connect.
Fantastic. Absolutely. And now, Carol, same question. What does Quark have to help travel advisors better sell Quark?
Yeah, but we launched a fantastic program called Polar Pro. So it's Quark Expeditions, polarpro.com. And it's a great sales enablement tool. So it's in addition to having modules long to become more familiar with the polar regions and why Quark. But there's also a sales enablement tool where people can use videos and images to share with their clients and real-time expedition brochures to forward off to their clients. So it's a really great Polar Pro program that is for training, but also to help you with your sales, for the sales enablement tool. And exactly like Becky said, I think having an advisor phone a business development manager is so important. We're here to not only have three-way callings with the clients, but also do great events, virtual events or in-person events where we can actually storytell and share the experience of expedition to your clients directly. Events are here to stay, whether they're virtual or in person, and it's a great way of also sharing this with your clients too.
No, and absolutely, storytelling is very much a part of all of your experiences. I know. I mean, I keep telling all my stories, you know, and it's everybody's pretty amazed at what they all want. Everybody wants to know what did you see, and where did you go, and what happened, and what was the whole process. And then they asked me about the Drake Passage, but let's not even talk about that right now. You know, so because it's either the Drake Lake or it can get a little rough. I'm unfortunate I don't get that seasick, but
yeah, the Drake Shake.
The Drake Shake, the Drake Shake, or the Drake
Lake.
There you go. Anthony, in terms of Atlas Ocean, what kind of training and education do you have out there for travel advisors?
Well, right now we are revamping our training module, so it is not available for travel advisors to take advantage of now. We're trying to make it more interactive and more robust than it was. So that should be coming out in the near future. And I'm sure, James, you will agree, and every travel advisor that's watching this, the best way to truly learn about a product is to experiencing it firsthand. So we are very aggressive with travel agents as far as offering them unbelievable deals to our various destinations so they get to experience it firsthand. Because looking at a video or doing a module, you're not going to experience the cuisine, you're not going to experience the service or see what type of clientele are on board those various vessels. So we do have currently 6 travel agent rate cruises going this first quarter to Antarctica, and they're very, very, very aggressive. And we're even allowing travel advisors to get additional staterooms if they want to bring some friends and family with them as well. And they're selling extremely well. Some of the dates are sold out. And also coming up, it's not official yet, but I did get some inside information that in April and May, we're going to have 6 seminars at sea that all the BDMs will be hosting, going to once to the Canary Islands, and several of them taking in Spain and Portugal, or the Italian and French Riviera. So they should be announced within the next several weeks. But I'm sure you'll agree, there's nothing better like experiencing it firsthand. And I'm glad you had the opportunity to sail with us 2 August ago.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. And all these places that you get to see, experience the ship. Everybody says, what's the food like? What's, you know, what is the Drake Passage like? Things like that. So now, when having done that, I can tell people this. Kent, talk a little bit about your training and education for travel advisors, what you offer, and to tell them all, because your company is just all over, really, so many different destinations and experiences. So how do you help travel advisors sell those?
Yeah, absolutely. And just to segue there and agree with Anthony, you know, I was talking about just hosting that trip in Burgundy in October. And again, I'm lucky to get to do another one fairly soon. At the end of March, I'll be taking a group of travel advisors to Sicily. So that one's a cycling one. So I'm actually got my spin bike this week in the basement, and I'm training.
Right?
I figure I got to be in better shape than I was last time. But that's another wonderful opportunity, and I can't say yet, but we're announcing a really phenomenal FAM this week as well. So we're continuing with our FAMs into 2023 to get more agents, more advisors out on our trips to experience what an Exodus trip is all about, and that's important. In the meantime, we have our Exodus Experts training modules. Everything can be found. It's kind of a one-stop shop on the Exodus Travels website. There's the Exodus Agent Collective, and under there you can get the Exodus Expert page. We have fun little modules. There's a badge you can get on just an overview of who Exodus is, and then you can do a walking badge, cycling, responsible wildlife tourism, self-guided, a little bit of everything, how to sell private groups. So those are all on there. They're fun. You won't fall asleep at your desk. They're short, and then you can kind of become an expert with Exodus. We also have an agent portal that we can sign you up on. It's live availability. See what dates there are, single supplement rates, all of that. And then again, as Becky and Cara were speaking to, the one-on-one, virtual or in person. I do a lot of presentations. I will get on a virtual call with a travel advisor. I've done virtual calls with a bunch of their clients in their living room to get them excited so they can ask questions, so we can do those presentations to give them more of a sense and have somebody right in front of them that's from the company. I think it's it's a great opportunity. So we're always available to do those webinars, those trainings, whether they be with just one advisor, their staff, or their clients. We're there to help.
Fantastic. And that's a good way to learn all about Exodus Travels. And last but not least, Kimberly, tell us about how Tour Radar is working with travel advisors and what kind of programs you have for them to kind of tell them on how to use it.
Well, Tour Radar is built specifically for multi-day touring, and as the leading marketplace, travelers and agents alike can come and they can search for the multi-day tour that's best for them. What's great about it is that they can type in a destination, see the live availability. If in particular they're looking at expedition cruising, they can compare deck plans and different rooming types on the expedition ships. We do list all of the cities separately that a tour will visit on each day, so that they can compare where their customer wants to go. We include things like accommodations, meals, transportations, guides, and we list both the departure tours along with highlighting any sort of additional itineraries that can be booked privately or customized for the needs of a private group. And to try to make things a little bit easier for advisors, we do have what's called our Traveler's Choice program. And this is where it highlights either platinum, gold, or silver ranked operators to make it easier for advisors to locate and book trusted operators. And these rankings are things that cannot be purchased, but they're based on things like average response time, customer satisfaction scores, and other key metrics. And then finally, we have our regularly recurring webinars for our travel advisor partners every Wednesday of the month. And not only do our webinars provide advisors with an opportunity to learn how to use the Tour Radar platform, but we also have our monthly operator spotlights and our monthly destination spotlights, where they can learn more about our operator partners and their new products, as well as destinations and any key themes that they want to be selling to advisors.
Well, thank you for that. And now we're kind of at the end here. I'm just going to give each of you a chance to say anything else you want to tell our travel advisors out there. We go out to about 110,000 travel advisors total, but this particular show is really targeting the ones that said they're very interested in selling adventure and expedition travel. So that's kind of where you're going. That's will be there. These are people who sincerely want to do that. Let me start with you, Cara. Anything else you want to tell our advisors out there about Quark? And then also, can you provide any contact information for them?
Absolutely. I'm really looking forward to connecting with all of you at the conference, so please stop by our booth at any time. What's really great about Quark Expeditions is we offer such a robust portfolio of off-ship experiences like stand-up paddleboarding, kayaking, paddling. With our helicopters, we have heli landings and heli hiking. So for your adventure enthusiast, Quark Expeditions is definitely some operator that you really need to think about when you're sharing polar options with your clients. So please reach out at any time to me at cara.matthew@quarkexpeditions.com or explore@quarkexpeditions.com. We're all here to help you. We have an excellent inside sales team. Polar travel advisors with Quark Expeditions have all been to the polar regions. We're open 6 days a week and even on Sundays for a bit. So we're all here to help you 24/6. So pick up the phone or email us at any time.
Anthony, anything else to say about Atlas Ocean Voyages and also some contact points for travel advisors?
Sure. To contact us, You could contact me. I cover the Northeast United States and Eastern Canada. I could be reached at Anthony at atlasoceanvoyages.com. I also encourage everyone to visit our website and click on the button that says Travel Advisors. And when you log in, you could see what this BDM, we call them regional sales directors, covering your neck of the woods. And I do highly recommend every travel advisor visit our website, because we are very, very aggressive right now with our current promotion. We're offering a second guest sales free promotion on all of our trips that we're offering between now over the next 2 years. So the second guest sales free, and that's not only for Antarctica and the Arctic, it's also for the rest of Europe as well. And our wave promotion not only includes the second guest sales free, but to Europe, we're also giving a $1,000 air credit for suites and a $600 air credit for all the rest of the staterooms. So we are not only a brand new cruise line with incredible food, service, and inclusions, but we also have unbelievable pricing out there. So visit our website to learn more.
Fantastic. Becky, Hurtigruten, any closing thoughts on what you want to tell travel advisors about Hurtigruten, and also any contact points for you and for your team?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think the main thing here is, expedition is a growing segment of the industry. So I think the key to it is really finding the supplier that fits the need of each individual guest, because every one of us, like you've heard today, has something different to offer. So it's finding that right fit of the company that works for what your guest is looking to experience. And then I would also say, one thing agents and advisors do not have a lot of is extra time. So my team, we're here to help. We're here to help solve, that problem and save time for advisors. But one thing that can also help advisors is to think about groups. Groups are a great way to get out there, work smarter, not harder, have a large group of people. And Hurtigruten really makes it easy to have a group. And your BDM, your team here, can definitely help you with that. So please reach out to us if you go to agentportal.hurtigruten.com. Go to the bottom, look for contact our sales team, and you can find the right person that represents your area to reach out to them, and we are happy to help.
Great, absolutely. Kent, same question for Exodus. Any last thoughts on Exodus Travels and what you are for travel advisors, and also some contact information?
Absolutely. Thanks again for having us and everyone here. So, for everyone out there listening to this or watching, it's important to note, I did speak of walking and cycling holidays, but we have something for everybody, every type of traveler. You don't have to be a cycling specialist or a walking specialist. A lot of these are first timers. It's a support vehicle on a cycling trip. The bikes are included. You can get off at any time. You're staying in beautiful boutique family run properties, some of the premium ones. Adventure shouldn't be scary, and it's not scary at all. That has changed very much. But if you have clients that aren't into a walking holiday or a cycling holiday, you can look at a cultural experience, but it's a small group. Average group sizes are 12. It's a lot more intimate. The guides are local. They're going to get away from mass tourism into a region. It's going to be a much different holiday trip than they've ever experienced before. And that's where Exodus fits that adventure model. And again, with the sustainability in mind. So something to think about if you have a look at our website. Again, I mentioned going to the Exodus Agent Collective on our website. You can reach out to agents at exodustravels.com. We have toll-free numbers on our website, depending if you're calling from US, Canada, other parts of the world. And under the Agent Collective, you can meet your BDM. So myself, I take care of Western United States and Canada, Kent.Phillips at exodustravels.com. And Wendy Mills takes care of Eastern United States and Canada. And under the Agent Collective on the Travel Agents tab on our website, you can find it. You can meet your BDM. We'll have a chat with you and set up anything you need or answer any questions you have.
Sounds great. And I'll go hiking and biking. As long as you give me a nice glass of wine at the end, I'll be happy with that.
You bet.
So that's expedition travel. And last but not least, Kimberly, tell me any more closing thoughts on Tour Radar, and also contact points if advisors are interested. And of course, I'm going to refer everybody back to the show floor, the virtual trade show floor at the end.
Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah, we've thrown out the word multi-day tour quite a bit today, but at Tour Radar, we really like to say organized adventure. And while we know that might sound like an oxymoron, two words that seemingly don't fit, but perfectly describe each other, like freezer burn or jumbo shrimp, Organized adventures really do give you everything you could want in a multi-day adventure, just organized for you. And they can be group or private or tailor-made. They can be any style, virtually anywhere. And because to us here at Tour Radar is an adventure is really what you want it to be, whether it be a polar cruise or a Tuscany wine tour, we're confident that advisors can find a life-enriching, organized adventure for their clients on Tour Radar, because at Tour Radar, we really do believe that adventure begins here. And as the head of our advisor program, advisors can reach out to me directly at kimberly.stirdivant@tourradar.com. You can also reach us at agents@tourradar.com, or our website is tourradar.com/agents. And of course, we look forward to meeting you at the event. So stop by our booth.
Well, I want to thank all of you for joining us today. It's been great. It is an incredible category that's really been exploding the last few years, both the expedition cruising and adventure tours. And a lot of people are interested in it. They want that extra experience. They want that, fit with the locals, and they want to go hiking and have some wine. So, and as well as date a penguin like I do. But that's another story. I want to thank you again. And of course, please go down on the trade show floor, the virtual trade show floor, and you can meet these folks and others from their companies that will be in the booths. And there's a lot of material there to educate you about all these different companies. Again, thanks very much, guys, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks, James.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Jim.
Bye.
Bye.